Have you ever imagined like cutting edge AI just freely available, breaking free from the control of big tech?
Yeah, it's a fascinating thought.
It is. And that's exactly what Mistral AI, a French startup, is setting out to do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was actually founded by former Google DeepMind and Meta engineers.
Really?
Uh-huh. And they're developing these large language models, or LLMs, that are not only powerful, but get this, they're open for anyone to use and adapt.
So it's like open source AI, huh?
Exactly.
That's amazing. It has the potential to be as disruptive as the open source movement was for software.
Yeah.
I mean, just imagine a world where the latest AI advancements are just shared and improved upon by a global community.
That is a wild thought. And Mistral AI is already making moves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were founded just last year,
Wow.
and they've already released 2 models, Mistral 7B and Mixtral 8x7B.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Let's start with Mistral 7B. It has 7 billion parameters, which might seem small compared to the giants out there. But it's already turning heads with its performance.
It must be doing something right then.
It is. What's remarkable is that Mistral 7B is actually outperforming models that are way larger than itself in benchmarks for reasoning, math, and even code generation.
Ah.
It's even surpassing Google's Llama 213B in some tasks.
So you could potentially have powerful AI running on something as simple as a smartphone.
Potentially, yeah.
That's incredible, opening up so many possibilities.
That's right. A model this size achieving that kind of performance, that's like David taking on Goliath and actually winning.
It really is. So what's their secret?
Yeah. Is it some kind of AI magic?
Well, not magic, but some very clever engineering. Mistral 7B uses some innovative techniques. One of them is called Grouped Query Attention, or GQA.
Okay.
Think of it this way. Instead of processing each piece of information individually, GQA allows the model to group similar information together.
Kind of like a study group sharing notes.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And that makes it much faster and more efficient.
So, Mistral 7B can achieve impressive results without needing massive amounts of computing power.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. So GQA is about making the model more efficient. Are there other innovations they're using?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Another one is called Sliding Window Attention, SWA for short.
Okay.
This lets the model handle really long sequences of text or code.
Yeah.
It does that by breaking them down into smaller, more manageable chunks.
So instead of trying to keep the entire paper in mind at once, you focus on one section at a time.
Exactly. And that's particularly helpful for tasks like code generation and document analysis.
So GQA is about making the model efficient. SWA helps it handle large amounts of information without slowing down.
That's right.
That's a pretty powerful combo.
It is.
But what does it mean for actual applications? How can we actually use this technology?
Well, the possibilities are pretty vast. Imagine lightning-fast chatbots that run smoothly on your smartphone.
Oh.
Content creation tools that generate text in a snap, or even real-time code assistance for developers without needing massive computing power.
Wow.
It's all made more feasible because of the efficiency of Mistral 7B.
It's like putting powerful AI capabilities in the hands of anyone with a smartphone or a laptop.
Exactly. It's democratizing access to AI.
And I know Mistral AI didn't stop there.
Oh, no.
No. They also developed a larger model called Mixtral 8x7B. So what's the story behind this one?
Mixtral 8x7B is their big brother model.
Okay.
It has 47 billion parameters.
Okay.
But it's not just about brute force. It utilizes an architecture called Mixture of Experts, or MOE.
Okay.
And that makes it remarkably efficient despite its size.
Wait, efficient?
Yeah.
But it's so much larger than Mistral 7B. How does that work?
Well, imagine a company with specialized departments.
Go.
You have marketing, engineering, sales, and so on. Each department is an expert in its own area.
Okay, yeah.
With MOE, only the relevant experts are activated for a given task. So even though Mixtral 8x7B has tons of parameters, only a fraction of them are actually used at any given time.
So instead of having everyone in the company working on a project, you only call in the specialists who are needed.
Exactly. And that makes it super efficient. Only about 13 billion parameters are active per token.
Really?
Which is amazing for a model of that size.
So we have Mistral 7B, the efficient powerhouse, and Mixtral 8x7B, the expert model that scales up performance without sacrificing efficiency.
That's a great way to put it.
But what about the specifics? How do they actually perform on different tasks? And how do they compare to the industry giants?
Well, that's a great question.
We'll dive into that next. So how do these Mistral models stack up against the big guys? Llama 2, GPT 3.5, and GPT-4. What do we even look at when comparing these models?
Well, it's tricky. Better really depends on what you need it for,
Right.
your priorities. There isn't one best model for everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But some things to think about are, how well do they do on different tasks? How efficient are they? How easy is it to tweak them for specific jobs?
Mm.
And are they open source?
You've mentioned open source a couple of times.
Yeah.
Why is that such a big deal in the world of AI?
Open source is a real game changer for a few reasons.
Okay.
First, transparency.
Well.
Anyone can look at the code, see how it works, check for any biases or safety issues.
So it's like having a public recipe for the AI versus like a secret family recipe guarded closely. Those closed models like GPT 3.5 and GPT-4.
That's a good way to put it.
What other advantages are there?
Well, collaboration. Community-driven innovation. Anyone can contribute to the development, adapt it, share their improvements.
Thousands of developers working together.
Exactly.
It sounds like open source could really speed up innovation in AI.
Yeah.
But how do these open models actually perform against the closed giants? Can they really compete?
It's tough to compare directly because they have different strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
GPT-4, for example, is still probably the most capable overall.
Yeah. I think.
Especially for really complex, nuanced tasks. But Mixtral 8x7b really shines in some areas,
Oh, yeah.
like math and code generation. It even rivals GPT 3.5 on some benchmarks.
So Mixtral 8x7b may not be the best at everything,
Right.
but it can outperform the giants in specific areas.
Yes. And remember, it's open source. Yeah. Potentially much more adaptable.
Yeah, okay. What about Mistral 7b? How does it compare?
Mistral 7b is just incredible.
Really?
It's smaller, but often beats out models many times larger,
Yeah.
shows that size isn't everything.
The classic David versus Goliath story, but in the AI world.
Exactly.
But benchmarks aside, what's the overall reaction from the AI community to Mistral AI and this open source approach?
Lots of excitement. Experts are really impressed by the performance and efficiency of these models, especially Mistral 7b. They see it as proof that open source works and a potential game changer.
It's one thing to look at the numbers,
Right.
but it's another to have the experts excited. What are they actually saying?
Well, one AI researcher, let's call him Dr. Smith, was just floored by how well Mistral 7b performed with such a small model size.
Okay.
He said it challenged his assumptions about size and performance.
Interesting.
He even called it a masterpiece of efficient design.
High praise coming from someone who knows AI inside and out. What else are people saying?
We talked to a prominent software developer, let's call her Sarah, and she's most excited about the possibilities of open source. She thinks it'll unleash a wave of creativity
Oh, wow.
as developers adapt Mistral's tech to their own projects.
That sounds like a major shift in how AI is made and used. It's almost like taking it out of the lab and giving it to the community.
That's exactly it. And a leading industry analyst, let's call him David, thinks Mistral's focus on efficiency could become a trend across the entire industry. He thinks other companies will have to prioritize efficiency when they see what Mistral has achieved.
So Mistral isn't just making impressive models, they're potentially changing how AI is developed overall.
It's pretty remarkable.
Their impact could be huge.
Yeah, definitely.
We've covered a lot, from Mistral's architecture to the experts' reactions. But let's step back and look at the bigger picture here.
Yeah, good idea.
What's interesting is that Mistral AI's story seems to be resonating with people on a deeper level. It's not just about the tech, it's about a vision for the future of AI.
Yeah, it's like people want something different, a move away from those closed proprietary models.
Right. Towards something more collaborative and community-driven.
It's refreshing, right?
Yeah.
And in a world where so much AI development is hidden, Mistral AI is like, hey, let's open things up and build this together.
It reminds me of the early internet. That spirit of collaboration and sharing knowledge,
Yeah.
democratizing information and technology.
That's what's exciting about Mistral AI. It's not just about the powerful AI. They're creating this whole ecosystem of innovation.
Definitely.
And they're doing it by making their models open and accessible, empowering anyone, developers, researchers, even just hobbyists,
To experiment, yeah.
to push boundaries, create things that weren't possible before.
Amazing. It's like a seed. You plant it and it grows into this massive forest.
Right.
Who knows what will come from this open, collaborative approach to AI?
I mean, think about the Linux operating system.
Yeah.
Started as a passion project, And now it's everywhere.
That's the power of open source. Imagine if Linux had stayed proprietary.
It's crazy to think about.
The world would be so different.
Exactly. And I think Mistral AI could have that kind of impact on AI. They're shaping the future of the whole field.
It's a bold vision, and it's great to see a young company leading the way.
It shows that innovation can come from anywhere. And sometimes the most disruptive ideas are the ones that challenge how things are done.
And for our listeners, I have a challenge.
Oh,
Don't just be a spectator in this AI revolution. Be a participant.
I love that.
Go to Hugging Face, download the models, start experimenting.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a computer science whiz to play around with these tools.
Exactly.
There are so many resources online, tutorials, guides, whole communities dedicated to open source AI. It's true.
Jump in, get involved, see what you can do.
Yeah.
You might be surprised at what you achieve. You could even come up with the next AI breakthrough.
It's an exciting time to be involved in AI, that's for sure.
It really is. It's not just about learning about AI. It's about realizing that we can all be part of shaping the future. And thanks to companies like Mistral AI, that future is looking pretty bright.
Mistral AI is truly inspiring. Their commitment to open source, the technology, their vision for the future.
It has been a fantastic journey exploring the world of Mistral AI.
I agree.
And on that note, it's time to wrap up this deep dive. Thank you all for joining us today. We'll be back soon with another fascinating exploration of artificial intelligence. Until then, keep learning, keep creating, and keep pushing those boundaries.